Welcome to Subramani. You must have heard right from JP Morgan to Benjamin Graham to Buffett and Morgan Housel and yours truly telling you that market works well in the long run, and you should always be invested for the long run, blah blah blah. All of us keep saying this. Have you wondered why? Simply because the market is a slave of two things. One is the earnings and second is the PE. Now, fairly obvious, when I say earnings of a company, I mean earnings including the dividends, right? So dividends are something which are given to you. So in your case, you have to calculate the dividends as assumed to be reinvested in the same company. So you will accumulate an X amount of shares, and that will be obviously there will be earning for that company, and that will be multiplied by the PE. Now in the short run, immediately what happens is what matters to you is the PE. The PE is very important in the short run. However, in the long run, the power of compounding makes sure that the earning keeps compounding. Right, the PE doesn't compound, but the PE can fluctuate. It can be. I have done some study in HDFC. Early PE used to be very low because nobody knew what was this company. I'm talking of the late 70s and early 80s. HDFC Limited was not a well-known company. It was just some corporation. So people didn't even know whether it was part of state government or central government. Equity valuations were not very high, and it used to be available at a much lower PE than what it is available now. So over a period of time, when the earnings keep accumulating, so what happens is the number of shares increase, the EPS increases, you use which is given to you as a dividend. You take the dividend, you buy more shares. So the number of shares keep increasing. The importance of PE keeps decreasing. If you were to draw a graph, in the total value of what you bought as HDFC in 1978 or 1980 to what it is today, the importance of PE keeps decreasing and the importance of the earning keeps increasing. This is fairly easy to understand, I think, because that compounds, right? Every year you get a dividend. With that dividend you buy more shares, so that increases your dividend. So the number of shares increase, therefore EPS increases. Therefore EPS increases, and therefore the dividend increases, and dividend increases at a higher rate than inflation. So when you draw a graph, the importance of earnings keeps growing like this, and the importance of PE keeps coming down like this. So in the long run, it may not matter too much what is the PE, because you have created enough earnings, right? So this is what, when Graham said about, you know what Graham said about weighing machine and voting machine. It is something which Morgan Housel has also said in one of his notes. It's as simple as that. So in the long run, what works for you is the earning per share and the compounding effect. Compounding effect means when you get the dividend, you buy more shares. So don't talk of just one share, talk of your whole portfolio. Your whole portfolio when you're young. Let's say you're 35 years of age, you have a portfolio. From portfolio you get a dividend. That dividend, you have nothing to do, so you put it back and buy more shares. Now the question people are asking is, should I be doing direct equity and paying tax on the dividend, or should I be putting the money in a mutual fund and take the growth option, because then I will be paying no tax? I think the fees that you pay to a mutual fund might be offsetting the dividend that you receive, and tax is only on the cash that is received. So let us assume that your equity portfolio grows by 12% every year or 10% every year, out of which what you get back as dividend will only be 2 rupees, and the remaining 8 rupees will just be appreciation. On that 8 you will pay tax only when you sell, and only at the rate of 10%. So I don't think you should bother too much about that. If you have the skills to pick stocks directly, you should pick stocks. If you do not have the skill, the patience and the willingness to learn, then you should go and put money in mutual funds. That's all. It's as simple as that. But not everybody has the skill to create and develop their own portfolio and manage it. That's a skill that is required. If you don't have it, mutual fund. If you have it, do it yourself. It works. Thank you.